Imagine stepping outside in the morning, still barefoot, and reaching for a sun-warmed lemon, grown in a pot just a few feet from your kitchen door. A tiny patio, a narrow balcony, even a rented space, none of it stops you from growing real fruit trees at home. And the best part? When you follow a few container-specific rules that most people miss, these little trees can become surprisingly productive, sometimes even more productive than trees in the ground. Today, we're keeping it simple. 10 proven tips, plus one secret that keeps potted fruit trees young, vigorous, and fruiting for years. Let's start right at the root of it. For many families, the dream of picking fresh fruit feels completely out of reach. Not enough yard space, too much shade, rental restrictions, climate challenges. But container fruit trees change that story. With the right variety, the right pot, and a few steady habits, you can create a tiny orchard beside your kitchen, where your kids can watch branches leaf out in spring, and where dinner plans often start with, "Let's grab a lemon from the pot." Here at Family Yard Kitchen, we're all about food that fits real life. Small spaces, simple care, and rhythms that build confidence instead of overwhelm. And these 10 tips are designed exactly for that. So let's begin at the beginning, the tree itself. Your success starts before the tree even comes home. Not every fruit tree enjoys the confined world of a pot, but dwarf and semi-dwarf varieties are made for it. They stay compact, usually under 8 feet, yet still produce full-size delicious fruit. A few container superstars. Figs, almost famous for thriving in tight spaces. Citrus, lemons, limes, calamondin, perfect for balconies that get morning sun. And compact peaches and apples labeled patio, miniature, or container friendly. And if you love the idea of apples or pears but don't have room for 2 trees, choose a multi-grafted fruit cocktail tree. One trunk, multiple compatible varieties, natural pollination in a single pot. Choose well now, and the rest gets much easier. Your tree lives its entire life inside this container, so size and material matter. Aim for 15 to 20 gallons minimum for dwarf fruit trees, bigger if you can manage it. Small pots look cute the first year, then quietly choke growth. Terracotta breathes well and keeps roots healthier, especially for citrus that hate soggy soil. Plastic is lighter and holds moisture longer, but in hot climates, dark plastic can overheat roots. If that's you, wrap the pot in burlap or slip it inside a decorative outer container to buffer heat. And do yourself a favor, place the pot on a set of rolling caddies. Following the sun or sheltering from a storm becomes effortless. Container soil needs to do 2 opposite things at once: hold moisture and drain fast. Garden soil can't manage that. A simple, reliable mix looks like this: 2 parts high-quality potting mix, 1 part compost, 1 part perlite or coarse sand. You want soil that feels loose and alive, never heavy, sticky, or compact. Mix in a little slow-release organic fertilizer at planting, plus a handful of worm castings if you have them. Think of this as the engine that powers your tree for years. Potted trees dry out faster than in-ground trees, but they also suffer if water sits around their roots. So the goal is steady rhythm, not guesswork. Use the classic 1 to 2 inch finger test. If the soil feels dry at that depth, it's time to water. And when you do, water slowly, letting moisture soak all the way through the pot until it drains from the bottom.
In heat above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, you may water daily. In cooler weather, once or twice a week is enough. A 2 to 3 inch layer of mulch, straw, leaves, or wood chips will cut evaporation dramatically and keep roots cool and calm.
Keep fertilizers stored out of reach of kids and pets. Wash hands after feeding, and you're good to go. Here's the simplest rule in the whole video. No sun, no fruit. Most fruit trees need 6 to 8 hours of direct sun to produce well. Morning sun with softer afternoon light is ideal. It gives energy without overwhelming the leaves. If you're growing on a balcony, rotate the pot every few weeks so each side gets light. This prevents the tree from leaning or growing lopsided, something container trees tend to do quietly over time. In cooler climates, placing your pot against the south-facing wall offers extra warmth. In cold regions, have a plan to pull the tree under cover during freezing spells. Even a small wrap of burlap around the pot helps protect roots from sudden frost. In summer heat waves, a hint of afternoon shade can be the difference between healthy leaves and stressed, scorched edges. Think of sunlight as energy. You're constantly adjusting the charger to the season. Pruning doesn't have to be intimidating. Think of it as guiding your tree, not controlling it. Start by removing the basics: any dead branches, any that cross and rub, or anything shading the center too heavily. Container fruit trees thrive with an open, airy canopy, often called a vase shape because it lets light and airflow reach every productive branch. Training young branches is incredibly helpful. Use soft garden ties to gently widen narrow branch angles. This keeps the tree strong, balanced, and less likely to snap under a load of fruit later. And here's the key. Light, regular trims beat one big, annual chop. A few thoughtful snips here and there all season long keep your tree compact, calm, and focused on fruit instead of wild, vertical growth. No pollination, no fruit. But that doesn't mean you need multiple trees or a yard full of bees. Some trees are naturally self-fertile: figs, citrus, many peaches. Others, like apples, pears, and some plums, often need a partner tree with compatible bloom times. That's why multi-grafted trees are such a gift for small spaces. They let you enjoy 2 or 3 varieties on one trunk, and they pollinate each other perfectly in a single pot. For balcony gardeners with fewer pollinators visiting, try hand pollination. A soft paintbrush is all you need. Gently brush the inside of each flower in the cool morning hours, transferring pollen just the way a bee would. It takes only a minute or two, and it can increase fruit set dramatically. A tiny action, a big harvest. Potted trees stay healthier when you catch issues early. So take 1 minute each week, literally, to flip over a few leaves and look at branch joints. You're watching for aphids, spider mites, scale, sticky residue, sap or honeydew, tiny webs. If you spot anything, act calmly and quickly. Neem oil, insecticidal soap, or a mild soap and water spray handle most soft-bodied pests safely. Spray in the evening so leaves don't burn in the sun, and repeat every 7 to 14 days until the problem fades. Disease prevention comes mostly from airflow and watering habits. Overwatering is the #1 cause of fungal issues and root rot. Keep pots draining freely, empty saucers, and clear away any fallen leaves or old fruit so you're not inviting pests to settle in. And if you do keep a small backyard flock, chickens love eating dropped fruit and bugs under container trees, turning pests into protein while keeping your little orchard tidy. Even the happiest tree eventually needs a reset. After 2 to 3 years, roots have usually filled the pot, nutrients run low, and soil becomes compact. Repotting isn't hard. Gently remove the tree, shake off some old soil, and trim away about 10 to 15% of the outer root mass, especially circling roots. This gives your tree a fresh start. Replant into either a slightly larger pot or the same pot with fresh soil if space is limited. Add new mulch, sprinkle in slow-release fertilizer, water deeply, and then give your tree a few days of partial shade to recover. You'll notice stronger growth, better color, and a renewed energy that lasts for seasons. This is the part most home gardeners never hear about. Over time, roots in a pot begin circling the container, tightening, compacting, and slowly limiting how much water and nutrition the tree can absorb. Growth slows, fruit size shrinks. The tree looks tired. Root pruning fixes it. Every few years, lift the tree from its pot and trim away about 2 inches of the outer root layer. Think of it like clearing out a traffic jam. Suddenly, feeder roots can breathe and regrow. Research shows this can boost tree vigor and even increase production, especially in long-term container trees. Replace 1/3 of the soil with fresh mix, replant, water deeply, and shade for a few days. A container fruit tree that stays young for decades. Growing fruit trees in pots isn't about perfection, it's about rhythm. A few habits, a little attention, and the joy of seeing real food grow right where your family lives. When you choose the right variety, give it a roomy pot, build a living soil and water deeply, the tree responds. When you feed it on a simple schedule, offer good sunlight, prune lightly, and refresh the soil every few years, it rewards you. And with pollination support, quick pest checks, and the quiet power of root pruning, even a tiny patio can become a place of abundance. What starts as one lemon tree or a young fig quickly becomes a rhythm your whole family joins in. Checking leaves, watching buds swell, celebrating the first fruit of the season. It's simple, grounding, and wonderfully steady. Container gardening doesn't require space, perfection, or ideal conditions. It just asks for consistency. And the beauty is these tiny routines build confidence, resilience, and a kind of calm that only growing food can offer. When you grow fruit in pots, you're not just learning horticulture, you're building a home habit that nourishes your family in a quiet, meaningful way. Every harvest, every leaf check, every blossom is a reminder that small spaces still can offer big, steady gifts. And that's the heart of what we do here at Family Yard Kitchen. Small, real, doable food growing systems that fit right into everyday life. If this video sparked ideas for your own balcony or patio orchard, the next step is simple. Try pairing your potted fruit trees with herbs and vegetables that naturally support each other. Our book, Veggie Matchmakers, makes those combinations easy. Sunlight needs, root depths, companion pairings, all in one calm, practical guide. And if you'd like more small space food growing ideas, subscribe and join us for the next Family Yard Kitchen video. Let's keep learning, keep growing, and keep bringing real food a little closer to home.